3, and I'm going to continue to give you the 8 principles of purpose. I think I only have 2 to 3 more left, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll finish up with that. Let's look at Ecclesiastes chapter number 3. This is what it says: "What profit has he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth?" What profit? Now, we understand, and I told you purpose. I'm not going to go over that again. But on Sunday morning, I shared with you the title entitled "Purpose That Profits." Purpose that profits. And so tonight, I kind of want to give you that definition so you'll understand exactly what it is that happens when you begin to walk in your purpose and how things really begin to occur. Number one, the word profit, especially in the Hebrew. I like to do original thoughts when it comes to Greek and Hebrew because it gives you a better understanding. Okay, the word profit in the Hebrew actually means to be valuable or useful. Yal is the Hebrew word for profit. Everybody understands profit. Profit simply is a gain. It simply is putting forth an effort to bring forth certain gains. When you do something, there should be a profit from it. You should get something out of it. Time is valuable. Effort is valuable. And so whatever you're doing within your purpose should bring certain areas of profits to you. Okay? That's why most of you now on your jobs or whatever you do, you want a greater level of income because you want to see the profit of going to work every day. You want to be able to say, well, I've worked 40 hours and I made $1,000 this week, or whatever the case may be. Because what's better, wages or profits? Wages is much better than profits. Wages is hourly, a salary, but profits can range from 0 to infinity. Okay? It's a big difference when you're working a salary because it's capped. It's a big difference when you have an hourly job because it's been capped. But profits can go from extreme. Some of you have worked on jobs where at the end of the year you've gained bonuses based on the profits, something that is valuable. I was watching CNN today, and this particular company has now cut back because they don't have certain levels of valuable, useful profits that are coming in. So it's important. Purpose should bring you to certain levels of your profits. Now watch this. The Hebrew word also for profit means to gain, superiority, plenteous. To gain superiority. Now you begin to walk in a superficial authority. You begin to walk in gain, plenteous. There has to be a time in the lives of believers that you have more than enough. Prophets do that, more than enough, where you're not skimming off the top and trying to rob Paul to pay Peter because you're walking in great gain or great favor because the prophets are so valuable to you while you walk in your purpose. Now, one of the words that I brought out of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 9 was the word work. Very, very important. If there's going to be profits, there has to be some kind of work that has been instituted. It is the Hebrew word yostar. Now watch, this is important, guys. It means conception. When you start working something, you have conceived a thought pattern. You have conceived something. A seed has been planted. Something has been planted inside of you that says there's something growing. It's like to me, when you work or you have an imagination of something or your mind's on something. Have you ever seen a fire? If you build a fire, and you can just build it in, and you can have 2 or 3 pieces of wood. But if you ever bring oxygen to the fire, if you ever put something that ignites the fire, it turns into a flame. There's a difference between a fire and a flame. The flame is based on the imagination, the mindset, the conception, the purpose, the work that you have put behind it. You've got to put work behind that you're going to do. You've got to conceive it. I am conceiving my purpose. I am conceiving that something inside of me is going to bring great gains. It's going to bring plenteous to me because I'm going to work out my soul's salvation with fear and trembling. I'm going to conceive it, i.e., which is going to ultimately be my purpose. Every person in this building tonight has some kind of purpose. Now, when you work, actually what you're doing is the text says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3:9 that you're laboreth. You're laboring, wherein when you worketh, you're actually laboring, okay? In Hebrew, it means misery. It means sorrowful. Misery, it means sorrowful. So sometimes when you're laboring for something, it has a tendency to wear on your mind, your body. Sometimes it brings sorrowful, sometimes it brings pain, sometimes it's worrisome, but you are laboring through it. The greatest thing that you could do is labor in these areas and don't quit, because sometimes your misery is just an indication that you're working, and your work is just an indication that you're going to have profits if you keep doing it. Most of us stop in the laboring part because what we feel is the pain, the trouble, the turmoil that goes out. But when you're here, you're in the complete. You're completing the last session, the last season. I think I said to you on Sunday, when a woman has a baby, the last thing that she feels are the birth pains of a miracle, the birth pains, because having a child is actually a miracle, because many women die in the labor part of having a baby. All right, what I don't want you to do is die while you're trying to have your purpose. Right? Yeah. I don't want you to die while you're trying to do it. It's not. I'm not just saying this because I have nothing else better to say. It's going to get difficult, but your purpose is in your labor. Your purpose is in your work, and your purpose is in your profit. What are you going to get out of it? You're going to get a lot of great things out, because watch, purpose is always the intention. What is my intention? What am I trying to do here? I am trying to be objective to the things I believe God for. I'm going to keep praying because I know God has an intention for me to profit. I know God's intent is for me to keep working and laboring through it, because all of this brings me to the point of my purpose. Yes. All right, guys? So it's very, very important that you understand that. Let me get to principle number, I think I'm at principle number 6. Is that mistaken, guys? Is that where it is? I want to make sure that I gave you this particular one here, where it says, after you have come into the knowledge of your purpose. Did I give you guys that? All right. All right, let's do that. This is principle number 6 of your purpose. I gave you 8 particular principles, and let's finish it on tonight. Principle number 6. After you have come to the knowledge of your purpose, seek to become what God has purposed for you through preparation. Okay? I'm going to reiterate it. The greatest thing that you could ever do in your purpose is be prepared. Let me say it again. After you have come to the knowledge of your purpose, seek to become what God has purposed for you through preparation. That is preparing forward, making room forward. If you have a car at home that doesn't work and you want a new car, the first thing I would do was move the old car in the space where I want the new car to be. I'm preparing for it. Don't the old car around, because it's a reminder of what you don't have. It's a reminder of it stopped on you. It's a reminder that the fact that you're walking, but I'm going to move the old car because I'm in preparation of something bigger and something better. So the tangible idea of my purpose is my work. The work is I got out of my house, moved my car, because I'm walking in conception of my imagination. My mind has told me that I'm going to have this car through the purpose and the work and the labor that God is going to give me. Now, talking to me in here. All right? And so with that comes a prayerful objective. And that's why the intent is you keep praying through something until it happens. You want the door to open, but your greatest thing is you're trying to build the greatest relationship with God that you possibly can. You want to say, God, I know that you're doing something, I'm doing something, so I'm going to bridge my work with the prayer life, and I'm going to prepare my relationship with you. I'm going to spend adequate time with you. Adequate time with you. It could be on the way to work in the morning. That maybe your job is so busy all day that you don't have time, but that drive time on the way to work could be the adequate time that you give yourself wholly unto God. Divine time. Somebody say divine time. So now that's very, very important, because what you're trying to do, you're still working because you're giving your spirit the work it needs. You're giving your spirit the advantage it needs. You are making your spirit fruitful, because you may have to walk in to a whole lot of trouble and conflict. So you're making yourself prepared for that day. All right. Principle number 6.